Focus. Power overwhelming.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood Remastered. Today it's going to be Flash and BISU here fighting it out in a best of 5 for you, an epic best of 5 sent to me by RJB of RJBTV fame. Hi-yo, says Flash. Hi, says BISU. We're on Circuit Breakers for game number 1. Top left, it's going to be our yellow Protoss player. It is BISU. And the top right, it's Flash. Yeah, man, Flash is laddering. We know that. I've been talking to you about it for like a month now, or maybe 2 months. Time has no meaning after COVID. But hey, maybe he's going to show up in a tournament sometime. Hopefully he does. I kind of feel like he's getting ready for it, right? By laddering, by seeing what the metas are, maybe trying to break the metas and then show up to a tournament and win, which is what Flash does, man. He shows up to tournaments and sees what's going on and then basically upends the meta by winning with weird strats sometimes. So let's go ahead and see if he is going to go do something weird today against BISU in game number 1 here on Circuit Breakers. Hope you are super excited for this PvT featuring 2 of the best known players in StarCraft, maybe the best 2 known players all time for StarCraft, right? Anyway, we got a gateway coming up here. Gas. And there we go. There's the gas. So it's going to be a Dragoon opening here with maybe 1 or 2 Zealots for harassing. But we're not scouting with a probe. So I think we're just going to go into Dragoons, into an expansion here. And it looks like it's going to be... yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Rax into Factory. And then expanding, so a lot of respect here between these 2 players because, yeah, they've been playing each other for like 20 years now. When did BISU show up? I don't actually remember. Anyway, probe scouting, very, very good. Yeah, so no Zealot here, just waiting for the Cybernetics core. Probes, more probes, if you don't make a Zealot. And waiting for 100 gas to throw down that factory. SCV, Steve the SCV scouting. We have Steve the SCV merch at falconpaladin.store as Robert the Zealot merch as well, if you're interested. And Jabao factory here at the top of the ramp here on Circuit Breakers. So yeah, Circuit Breakers is pretty much an even map for Protoss versus Terran. There are bases that can be killed by placing 2 siege tanks on a ramp, but wide open spaces in the middle of the map here. Good for surrounds, good for concaves from Protoss. So, very good. Steve the SCV says, alright, fair enough. No Zealot, no expansion. Everything is A-OK here. And factory done. Yeah, machine shop add-on. And we will say Spider Mines. Spider Mine opening here for Flash. Run, probe. Get out of here. There are 3 Marines. It can kill you. Oh, gosh. Oh, got held up. The pathing was bad. And the probe is dead. Ugh. Expanding here. Expansion's coming up at pretty much the same time. Yeah. Pretty much the same time here. So this Dragoon says, I don't have range, but I can kill Marines. Oh, gosh. There we go. There it is. A little bit of a misclick there from BISU. And, oh, simultaneous death. Always funny when 2 attackers die at the same time. That was fantastic. Are we still sending Dragoons out? But yeah, Singularity Charge is just about done. Robotics facility on the way here. Machine shop done, and no upgrades on it. Vulture being produced here. Starport on the way here, super early from Flash. Drops. Let's say it's going to be drops here from Flash on Circuit Breakers. Dropping Vultures inside the main base. Yes, indeed. Still no research on the machine shop. Alright, fair enough. I mean, we're going to get Observatory anyway because we are worried about spider mines as soon as the robo facility is done here from BISU. And on the other side of it, expansion finishing from both players, sending SCVs down early as Flash, and about on time here for BISU. Just a question of preference, how you want to play it. Control, on the name, yeah, control tower for drops. So yeah, getting speed for vultures. Falcon was wrong. He thought it was spider mines, but he wants speed. He wants to drop vultures inside BISU's base, get inside this mineral line, go pow, 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 pow. Kite, 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 right? Everything dies. Everything is very sad here. It's a win for Flash. Off at 2 bases with the vultures. That's exactly what that is, but it's a robotics bay. Where is it? Where is it? Down here? Cool. Less likely to be scanned down here. Not that there's any scan tech here for Flash, because he doesn't have an academy. He's going for this, yeah, vulture drop. Absolutely, positively out of this dude. Now, Reavers are really good against vultures, especially good at base defense against vultures. But if the Reavers somewhere else, when these guys show up, they're probably going to pass in the night, aren't they? They're probably going to walk right past each other. It's going to be that meme, I think from the show The Umbrella Academy, or just Umbrella Academy, where it's the 2 people in the car and they're passing each other and they're looking at each other as they go. That's exactly what this is. Yeah, this is this is 3 vultures moving out, and then this Reaver's going to finish. I don't know, the timing here is a little bit awkward. I think the Reaver's going to be done by the time the vultures show up. And then the vultures show up and they just die to like 1 scarab shot. It's going to be very sad. Stargate the 2. Oh, the Stargate gets scouted by Flash. He gets in here. Dragoon. What? I guess, I don't know. The Dragoon came in here perfectly timed to get some early shots off. Probes are going down. Reaver shot. Bam. Helps save the day, but several probes definitely die there. It's 38 SCVs to 30 probes. Now the Reaver tech's been scouted too. So the Stargate tech's been scouted, the Reaver tech's been scouted, and some probes died. That was disastrous for BISU. Oh, but he's getting a Wraith to help deal with this. Oh, but that's why you put a Dragoon inside. Yeah, because you know there's a starport out because of ye old, oh gosh, Wraith dies, shuttle doesn't die because of the dropship, right? Dropship told BISU you want to put a Dragoon inside that shuttle. You don't want it to be Zealots because they can't help. Siege mode is not done yet. Okay, so siege tanks unsieged. You're going to have to deal with this Reaver Dragoon push from BISU off at 2 bases. He needs to get some damage done here because he's down on economy, and that's not where you want to be. And he's not taking a third. Reaver shot into the siege tanks. All the Marines are dead. That Reaver shot was overkill for sure. Here comes the stutter step in. Flash is in a lot of trouble. These siege tanks are not sieged up. The Reaver shot. No, it's getting held up too long. Does no damage here. Waste of a Reaver shot. Siege mode is done, though. And we're starting to fire, but the SCVs are trying to perform citizen's arrest, and they're getting killed by siege tank shots with the splash damage. Wraith gets a couple more hits off on that shuttle. Can't quite take it down. Really wanted to, though. And Flash holds. He holds. Oh, my gosh. This is absolutely a fantastic hold from Flash here. Yeah, I lost some SCVs, and look at that. BISU took the lead in the worker count because of that attack. Exactly. Now, do you want a 3rd base? Is the question. What? 2 base carriers? BISU, you madman. He's trying to go 2 base carrier on us. He doesn't have a 3rd base, and Flash doesn't know that. Flash doesn't know there's not a 3rd base because he hasn't been scanning. He hasn't been scouting. Oh, this pickup is disgusting. Okay, dropship gets out of there. Vultures survive. Unloading those vultures would have been a death sentence for them too, with those Dragoons on the ground. This is, woo! This is so good. What a great game 1 this is so far. Again, check out RJB, youtube.com/@RJB_TV, because he's giving us a game where BISU's going carriers against Flash. Let's rock. There is no indication that Flash knows this is happening. He's not making Goliaths. He does not have Charon boost on the way. He does not have an armory. Oh, that's huge. Oh, he does have an armory because he's working on +1 attack. I'm an idiot. It's cool. It's up there in the production tab, guys. There is an armory. Carrier capacity coming in. This might be a thing where Flash shows up. The carriers have to reveal themselves, and that gives him time to start pumping some carriers. Oh, he did throw up Charon boost. What did he sniff here? What made him want to... I mean, you just kind of want Charon boost anyway. I guess he did see this. Okay. But it could have been Arbiters. Either way, if it's Arbiters or if it's carriers, which totally just got scouted, by the way, you definitely want those Goliaths regardless. So, fair enough. Probe dies. There you go. Way to get one probe kill. Fancy, fancy. 44 probes to 45 SCVs. And it is 4 Goliaths at a time. Flash knows what is up here at 10 minutes. So, game 1. Looking like we're doing okay. Another player going to die. Flash not going to be taken off guard by the presence of carriers. That's great. He also doesn't really have the ability to jump on this and kill it while the carrier count is tiny. So he's just going to try to keep harassing, keep sending vultures into BISU's main. Annoying, but not really game-ending stuff here. Just trying to keep BISU's economy down as much as possible. Ooh, did not dodge that at all. And now the dropship's going to die to carriers and dragoons, and everybody is kaput. So, see you later, alligator. Did a couple NFL fantasy drafts last night with my brothers. Really fun stuff. One of my brothers totally forgot to get a quarterback until like round 10. But I don't know. There's a decent number of quarterbacks out there these days in the NFL. I mean, you can pick up like a Brock Purdy and be probably fine in the 10th round, which I think he ended up doing. Anyway, Flash, buddy, I know you're worried about what's happening over there, but man, that Scarab is so annoying. No damage at all. Now it has to defend itself. On the other side, though, Siege Tanks and Goliaths are fighting against these Dragoons just fine. Carriers joining the party. Zealots going crazy. Reaver hiding in the top corner because, no, the shuttle got sniped by the Goliaths. Reaver down, threat done. Some Zealots are getting some stuff done in here, but only one kill on that guy, and Flash gets shoved away as the carriers join the party here. Not quite enough Goliaths here to make that happen. So, man, both these players kind of playing to a stalemate, but a 2-base to a 2-base here at a PvT is going to favor the Terran immensely. I'm really surprised that BISU has not tried going for a 3rd base at this stage. Like, if you want to go for a 2-base all-in, that's fine. But he needs to win pretty soon, or this is going to go really terribly for him. Zealots don't even have speed, but hey, that doesn't matter. Tanks can't run away. Slow walking Zealots in on top of these tanks is absolutely, yeah, that is absolutely chaotic behavior here out of BISU. I think it is so hard to tell who's going to win this game 1. Suddenly, the Goliaths are getting nice stutter step attacks on these carriers. One of them goes down. Other one's taking hits. Then the Dragoons wander in, and GG! Whoa! Flash taps out, and BISU gets the win in game 1. What an astounding... what an astounding ending there. Remember, I just had this whole big thing where I said 2-base Terran will bait 2-base Protoss. But I guess maybe he didn't have quite enough anti-air to deal with the carriers, and the Goliaths were dying, that's for sure. He's got another one back here, but it's fighting a Zealot, which it doesn't want to do. I guess he just realized that, yeah, he couldn't keep up with the Goliath. He couldn't get the Goliath siege tank mix good enough, right? He didn't have enough siege tanks to deal with these Goliaths, or with these Dragoons. Didn't have enough vultures to deal with the Zealots, and therefore didn't have enough to deal with the carriers, because everything that would deal with the carriers was going to die to these ground units. The hybrid stuff, man, it's really, really strong. So that got scouted out, and Flash still couldn't quite deal with it. So nicely done, BISU. Good control. Way to switch into something that Flash wasn't quite ready for, and that's a game 1. Game 1 win, Protoss. 61,000 to 49,000 total points. Outproducing the Terran, outkilling the Terran, and losing fewer units is always nice. 1 building raise on each side, which is funny. Total spent outspending the Terran player by about 3,000 resources here in 12 minutes. So game 1 going to BISU. Flash fans seething in the comments. Leave me a comment. I'll read it. Let's see what game 2 has in store for us. Game 2, we're on Fighting Spirit. Man, we love this map. Bottom left, it is BISU. Bottom right, it is Flash. So as I said earlier, I do read every comment anyone ever makes on the channel. So if you have a request for like a player or a map or a matchup you want, I will dig through and see if I can find one that I've already cast. And if I haven't, then I'll cast one for you. So leave a comment. I read it. I'm not big enough to not be able to read every comment, right? Big enough to not read any comments. I think that, I don't think that is possible, right? Anyway, what do we got here? Maybe more carriers off of a 2-base opening here from BISU? No, probably not. We got to mix this up against Flash, right, man? We cannot be doing that. We cannot be doing the same thing again and hoping for it to work against Flash. Maybe against another Terran player, right? Maybe against somebody like Rush. Maybe against somebody... Who else is in the current SSL Season 1 as a Terran player right now? I mean, Light got in, but I don't think that Light is... I don't think Light is gonna screw that up either, right? Anywho, yeah, man, Light, terrifying. Such a great Terran player. Love casting him. Had a lot of his stuff in the last month or so as well. So what's the play, folks? We got ourselves nothing crazy. Nobody going for an early scout. No proxies here in game number 2, which is always very fun in these best of 5s, as you don't know if somebody's going to proxy in a game 2, right? I generally do cast super long macro games, but in situations like this, it's like, probably not going to be 4 super long macro games in a row. Speaking of game length, too, y'all, I mean, man, if I post like a 15-minute video, even if it's BISU and Flash, you guys are like, meh. Like, if it's not 25 minutes or 30 minutes, I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend the time watching a StarCraft game from Falcon Paladin. It's like, I don't know. What's up with that? What is up with that? I posted a 15-minute game featuring, who was it recently? Flash and Hyun. That featured queens, folks. It was an out-of-the-ordinary game. It was great. And the view count is like, I don't know. It's like the 10th out of 10th most watched video in the last 10. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, if it's Flash, it's not enough. As a 2-gate open comes up here, out of our guy, BISU. 2-gate, man. Into a simulator. There's going to be a lot of zealots. Ooh, this walling actually works out for Flash quite nicely. The blind walling at the top of the ramp here is fantastic. Expansion coming in. So he gate expand into second gate into Cybercore. Well, yeah, it's got to be zealots here. Like, you don't want to go 2-gate and then wait for your Cybercore to finish and then start making Dragoons. Yeah, Robert the Zealot is on the way. See, I don't know. I don't know if... that's the other thing. I wonder if sometimes the algorithm assumes that people don't want to watch a 15-minute video on the channel. And so it's not recommending it as much to my subs. But that's the thing. I'm posting new StarCraft content Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So if you're ever like, man, it's Tuesday and there's not a new Falcon Paladin cast, what's going on? There's one there. I guarantee you that. So just come on over, youtube.com/Falcon Paladin. Pretty easy to find. And you will find what I posted for the day. Even if the YouTube algorithm's like, meh, I don't feel like recommending this one to people today, which is like, come on, algorithm, it's got Flash in it. Why not? Again, maybe my theory's wrong. Maybe a bunch of you people saw the Flash game with Hyun, and you're like, I don't really care about Hyun. I don't like games with queens in them. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I think everybody probably has a different reason for not clicking on a Flash game, right? Whew. Anyway, SCV swinging in. Sees what's up. Finally scouting. The whole play here says, Dragoons are out. Nexus done. My command center is just about done here inside the main base, so that's okay. Got a siege mode upgrade on the machine shop first here in game number 2. Siege tanks, high ground. I mean, that is the anti-dragoon thing. There's a lot of things that maybe are considered anti-dragoon. Perhaps zealots are good at killing dragoons. Perhaps hydralisks are pretty good at trading out against dragoons. But siege tanks, yes. Siege tanks on high ground, yes. CC, like so good. More dragoons on the way, though. Just because there's tanks out early and just because it feels like siege mode's probably going to be done soon. No reason to stop making dragoons, man. Not like zealots are busting in here anyway. Maybe not busting up the ramp, but honestly, a bunch of speed lots showing up at this position would be pretty awesome. That would force a liftoff and evacuation of all these SCVs. That could be tricky. Could be really tricky for Flash to deal with. But observatory coming in, worried about spider mines. Good for scouting too. I mean, look, if you're not getting an observatory as a Protoss, you're probably just doing it wrong. That's all there is to it. Very, very simple stuff. Academy, ooh, fast Academy. I don't think Flash got an Academy that entire last game. So this time he's getting an Academy. This time he's going to get the ComSat. He's going to keep an eye on what BISU is up to. Not that in game 1 his problem was not knowing what BISU was up to. In Game 1, his problem was not quite keeping track of what units were being made out of the gateways versus the carrier count. Which I guess a ComSat station could help with that, too. Also helpful against DTs, if that's what your opponent is doing. And again, BISU is entirely unscouted here. The SCV scouted the 2-gate and the expansion, but from there, the world is your oyster. You can throw up a quick Templar Archives, right? But instead, it's, I mean, it is a Citadel, so could be DTs, could be heading up to Psionic Storm. But either way, hasn't used a scan yet. Hasn't used a scan yet. Haven't heard anything there. See, look, Observer comes in for scouting purposes. Perfect. Man, fast Goliath, fast Charon boost here. I mean, it is a Stargate, but a Templar Archive, so it's probably Arbiter in this case. As Templar Archives finishes, Stargate coming in at the same time. Observer hiding in the back corner. Maybe I won't get scanned and scattered out here. I don't know. 3rd CC from Flash. Didn't see that in Game 1 either. No, we did not. But 3rd Nexus coming in up that left side, too. So, I don't know, a bit of a calmer situation here. BISU was a lot more aggressive in Game 1. There are the scans, by the way. So he scans the 3rd base and says, aha! I feel good about getting my 3rd CC out here. And there is the Arbiter Tribunal coming in now. Observer poking to see what's going on. 2nd gas, yes. 3rd CC, no. This pylon makes sure no 3rd base gets landed without early advance notice there, too. And so far so good. You do want the Arbiters, right, for stasis purposes, and then you want the Goliath to deal with the Arbiters. Or, you know, recall purposes. We have not seen a lot of recall purposes. Recalls used in 1v1s. Recalls in fastest maps? Yeah. Recall in a Big Game Hunters game that I posted last Sunday. 2 Sundays ago, we had a Big Game Hunters game sent in as part of the live stream. So if you missed that, check it out. Live streams are a lot of fun. The VODs are all timestamped, too. So if you're ever like, I don't want to watch the whole 6-hour thing, well, maybe there's a game in there you're interested in, and there's timestamps to show you what it is. Okay, delay on the armory is pretty rad. Killing that SCV is great. Just straight up killing the armory is also very cool. I support this wholeheartedly. So they kill the shuttle, so there's no evacuation. The construction process is not enough, and the armory gets killed. Another one gets fired up, but the SCV gets killed before that one can really get off the ground either. Another SCV comes in, and that was annoying. That was really good. 3rd base lands. Again, we know about it because the pylon got killed. Scanning in the front, see what we're dealing with. Zealots, Dragoons, our guys getting Zealot legs. Spider-Mine's getting fired up on the other side of the map here. And a recall would be nice. The guy gets stasis. I was really focused on those Zealots for a minute, so I don't know if he researched stasis yet. Probably the priority right now is getting Arbiters so they can get energy, and then maybe research stasis, and then your Arbiters already have the energy for stasis when stasis is done. Might be what we're looking at here. Or maybe stasis got researched while I was focusing on the Zealots. That's entirely possible. Guess we'll have to find out. Flash making the move out here on 3 base and 56 SCVs. It is 66 drones for the BISU and a 4th base up that top left. Here goes nothing. Trying to Zealot bomb these tanks. Some of them are unsieged, though. They can dodge, 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 dodge. Oh, not enough dodge, but also not enough Dragoons to really follow up on any of that stuff. So Flash is looking menacing right now. Arbiter providing cloak, maybe for these guys. Forcing a scan out. Oh, free shuttle is free. It's a little bit sloppy from BISU, too. Really, you're just going to counterattack here? I mean, your probes, your natural are getting absolutely shamooshed. And no, you can't take this. Dragoons, maybe the 3rd base is a better target for you. Nope, stasis getting fired up now. Like I said, Arbiter maybe wanted to wait to have enough energy before stasis was available. There's a scan. So the cloaked zealots aren't anything. Plus, the turret at the front is so good, too. Second turret, no. No. Zealots marching in and chasing this whole thing away. Wow. All right. So no reinforcements coming in here from Flash. We got an Arbiter just casually floating on in here to the third base to try to see what it can do. And are there enough Dragoons here? So the siege tanks maybe siege a couple of those guys up. But again, if SCVs are providing citizens arrests, sieging up, maybe not what you want to do, because the SCVs will die. Okay, well, I mean, they're dying anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. Everybody gets wiped out. Arbiter hangs here. It's like, I just want to kill. Can I get one kill? Yeah, providing that cloak is great, but the turret is providing detection to counter it, so no big deal. BISU continuing to just kind of flood in here. Recall is getting researched. Let's go, BISU. Picking up that recall stuff. Have not seen a recall in a PvT on the channel in a while, it feels like. Again, outside of that Sunday stream, which was really fun, by the way. Zealots, Dragoons marching in here, maybe getting into the natural base. They know about this wall, though. And, like, I don't know, breaking through the wall is not a good time. Because you're usually taking tank shots the whole time you're doing it. But you know what? Never mind. No tank shots being taken. Now tank shots being taken. Because you left the safety of the Arbiter cloak. So, 4 bases from BISU. This is a much more macro-oriented game than Game 1 was, which is, again, why it's fun to cast these best of 5s. I think he's waiting for recall, and then maybe he's going to jump on this third. I believe that's what BISU is going for here. Hasn't been using stasis, so he's got 170 energy on that Arbiter. Maybe a recall into the main base. Oh, look at that. Look at him clumping it up here, too. Nope. Gets it before he can get in there and recall. Now Flash knows recall's a thing. That was huge. BISU put a lot into that recall research. Now he's like, well, I guess I could face smash into this third base. I guess. Zealot bomb these guys too. Always very, very good. Front wall is going to get broken down. Arbiter does not decide to do a recall here just because the entire army of Flash is here. So, I don't know. Maybe recalling on top of this area would be nice, but also, maybe stasising a couple tanks is a good option too. Exactly what we get done. Yeah, I don't think BISU's getting up this ramp. It seems a little bit too tough. Upgrades on the mech are 2-1. Upgrades on the ground are 1-0 here for the Protoss. But the 4th base is helping a lot. Yeah, everything was on this recall, man. He wanted it so bad, and it would have been so good. Supply depots would have died. Maybe the science facility could have gotten wiped out. That would have been nice. A couple SCVs would have gotten caught in the crossfire there, too. Without a doubt here. Vulture is trying to sneak on into this 4th base, but there are cannons in really good spots. So Vulture dies immediately. Probably could have got a probe kill, but chose to just kind of attack the cannon instead, which is an utter waste of activity and actions in general. Yeah, Vulture's trying to be all sorts of active out here, but not getting a lot done. Dragoons are rebuffing them at every move. An expansion here? Yeah, I was going to say, expanding here for BISU. Feeling good. Feeling fancy. Flash. He's got the command center in production. He does not. He's 3-basing it. He's happy to be on 3-base here. He's not the kind of player that's going to sit back on 3-base and just max out and then go. He's tried to go. He's been defending. He's been throwing spider mines down out there, right? Right. EMP is coming in here from Flash to try to counter the recalls, trying to counter the stasises, obviously. What's the play, folks? Where are we at? What is the top to bottom? Who's going to come out on top here? Economically, BISU's on fire. He's at 64 probes on 5 bases. Flash is at 72, but on 3 bases and oversaturated massively on every one of them. So not getting as much value from all the 72 workers as you would want. You know, if you had 4 bases, then things would feel much better in that situation here at 15 minutes, yeah? Yes, without a doubt. Shield upgrade coming in. I guess maybe we give the Arbiters a bit of some better play here. A little more tankiness for the Arbs, but not giving them an air plating upgrade. Protoss plating. Either. So tank count was whittled down a bunch during the earlier attacks, but it's getting up to a level that is kind of scary right now. Flash is maxed out. We've got the 2-1 upgrades here. 3-2 is going to finish up here in a couple of minutes. And then it's going to be hard to deal with. So, I don't know. Stasises are part of the play here. Recall is part of the play here. Having enough Zealots to deal with the tanks, enough Dragoons to deal with the Vultures. We know the math that goes into this whole darn thing, and it is tricky. It is tricky to try to figure it out. Fourth base coming up right side. Ob sees it. BISU making a beeline for that thing. Honestly, just send some Zealot. Yeah, like send like a Zealot over and you can probably shut this thing down. There you go. That's all you gotta do. Yep, SCV down. Probably a cancel on the command center. Flash says, well, do I... Oh, stasis on the science vessel's interesting. Less detection, right? Plus no EMPs for 41 seconds. Flash says, screw it. We ball! Let's go. I'm not getting a fourth base, so what if I just try to win this thing now? I think every StarCraft player's had that thought before. And then BISU tries to march into the natural and actually forces Flash back a little bit. That's good. But jumping on about half of Flash's army here. Ah, that's no good. That's really bad. All right, man. These tanks getting wiped out. I think BISU is going to take this game too. Tanks out. Yeah, and then you just fall back when the rest of Flash's army shows up here. I mean, that Dragoon decided not to fall back. EMP. Nothing. I don't know what that was. Flash says, but you didn't kill all of my tanks, did you? Good stasis at this bridge, so the units have to come through single file. Super, super annoying. But tanks are siege of the natural base of BISU, and they're in range of the Nexus. So suddenly, BISU's in such a tight spot. Flash is down 179 to 176. Okay, up. It's fluctuating wildly right now. BISU, can he engage with these tanks? No, he stasises 3 more of them. He's making 18 Zealots at a time. That's exactly what he needs here to wipe this thing out. So can he do this? Obs comes in, gets wiped out by Goliaths. Zealots have joined the party. And here we go. Goliaths on the top side. Zealots coming down this ramp. More Zealots coming in from gateways that are elsewhere. More Zealots getting rid of the tanks, trying to wipe out that third base too. These tanks are all dead. That's massive. But more tanks are coming in. Stasis going to wear off on these 3 guys on the bridge in just a moment. There are a lot of Zealots here. The Vultures are not getting microed all that particularly well. But tanks fleeing. These guys going to come out of stasis any second now. 3, 2, 1. Bam. Man, my game sense is good sometimes. Zealots jump on top of them, though. And every single tank goes down. 70 more tanks are coming across the map. And by that, I mean there are like 8 of them. But Zealots, without Vulture support, do not like tanks at all. It's a very aggressive play here. So BISU holds on to this base. He loses his natural, but not as big of a deal just because, well, it's pretty much mined out anyway. Our guy is sprinkling in some High Templar, making some Dragoons now, as Flash falls back to his side of the map with his tail between his legs. He doesn't have a fourth base, folks. He built it somewhere else, and he's going to float it over here and finally clears out the Zealot so he can land the command center. But, yeah, man, I think BISU's okay. He's at 39 probes, though. He did lose a lot of workers by the death of that natural and some tank fire getting into this third base, too. Or this isn't even the third base. This is the third. This is the fourth. This is the fifth, isn't it? Into the fifth base it is. Whew, upgrades have been going on the whole time here. +3 attack is done. For BISU, 3-2, done as we predicted it would be. As we saw it coming in. What's the play? What do we got next here, folks? We're going to try to get a recall off here in Flash's base. I think that'd be neat. He doesn't really have science vessels patrolling for that at all. There's a nice attack angle here. If you want it. Maybe trying to clear that out. Maybe being like, all right, yeah, we'll send the Arbiters out on a mission, but not enough energy. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, that 74 is not enough for a recall. EMP gets tossed down? Maybe? No, it didn't get tossed down at all. Not even the closest. The tiniest of bits. BISU making a push here on this fourth base of Flashes. If he can kill it, that's a big deal, obviously. Yeah, there are obs in here keeping track of what's going on. I feel like a recall would be awesome. rather than dealing with a high ground siege tank position like this. EMP catches the Arbiter? No, does not catch the Arbiter. How? Womp. Might as well use my energy on stasis if I'm going to be EMP'd constantly. Better than saving it for a rainy day and then that never comes because you keep getting EMP'd. I don't know about this engagement. There are high ground siege tanks over there. Another EMP gets tossed down on the Dragoon. There's not enough Protoss to do this. BISU, what is happening right now? D-Matrix on the siege tanks. All sorts of vultures getting wiped out, but every Dragoon dies. Everybody dies. Some tanks died, yes. Some were stasis, but they'll be back shortly. Arbiters trying to fight all in this mess. Do they have any kills? No, because it's so hard for an Arbiter to get a kill. Even if you're attacking something that doesn't shoot back, like an Arbiter. Like a Vulture. Vultures don't shoot back. Arbiters do shoot back against other Arbiters, it turns out. And that's a GG! Wow! BISU taps out. Flash gets the win in game number 2. Here on Fighting Spirit. What in the name of all that is Protossy was that? Why did... Alright. Yeah, attacking into this and then basically being like, oh, I did not kill nearly enough, and the counterattack is really strong. We're in a position to threaten this top left corner and this 5th base at the same time. I don't have a lot. I'm actually curious to see how much supply is there at the GG. These GGs sometimes come out of nowhere, man. Right? So this whole thing happens, and yeah, I'm not even sure how many tanks died during this engagement. So it's 182 to 117 after that. Worker count's only 39. That's a big part of it, too, for BISU. His worker count wasn't good. He has no cash to remax with. Okay, that's a bigger deal. 125 total supply. Yeah, okay, that's fair. He's making a round of Zealots and Dragoons, but he is really far behind, and that's the GG. Yeah, fair enough, dude. Fair enough. Wow, I thought Flash was in so much trouble. That 4th base was late. BISU's all expanded up this left side like a madman. But sometimes one bad engagement after losing a ton of probes due to attacks, that took out a Nexus and tried to kill another one, right? That was what the complicated situation was there for BISU. Economy low, had the Nexuses, but not enough probes to utilize them properly. So Flash, 168,000 points there. Gets the win there. Outproduced, outkilled, lost fewer. 8 to 9 buildings were raised. Again, the symmetry here is fun. And then, what? 54,000 total spent to 47,000 spent here. That's probably, honestly, should be enough of an outspend, but that last engagement was not good. And a bunch of probes died there, too. So that's game 2. Flash getting the win on Fighting Spirit. Fantastic stuff so far. Hit the like button if you're enjoying this cast so far. And let's move into game number 3. Tied up 1-1. Game 3 is here on Bloody Ridge. We're tied up 1-1. Top right, it's going to be our Flash. Bottom left, going to be BISU here. You knew that, though. Hi, says BISU. Hi-yo again, says Flash. Yeah, man, they are the best of friends. So, yeah, BISU's competing, but Flash is not competing in tournaments right now. But, man, think of the ratings. Think of the ratings if Flash comes back, right? I think he will. But it's not a guarantee. Anyway, this is New Bloody Ridge, which if you know this map, interesting one. Got the center here, which again, you take if you're overconfident or desperate. You have 3rd bases. Okay, so natural base here, right? Natural here. 3rd base, high ground, 1 ramp leading in. Pretty nice. You can maybe take it over here. Same thing, high ground. So you've got some nice stuff here. But then beyond that, it gets tough. You got this base that has wide open leading into places. And it's just, especially in PvZ, it's tough for Zergs to win this thing. Because Protoss will pretty much just take their 4 bases, take this here, and then the map is split in half. And it can be tough for a Zerg player to break these bases with the narrow ramps, right? So they will try to take the center, but then guess what you can do? You can sneak up this way and storm, right? Put a Reaver here, bam, whatever. I mean, this is actually more accessible than in the old Bloody Ridge. So I guess you can actually defend out this way a little bit better. So that's fair. Pretty sure that's what it was all about. Anyway, did I not get that? Didn't get it. Cool. What up? Gateway. Neat. Got ourselves a barracks too. We sure do, folks. Steve the SCV on the scat out here. And I guess if you're still watching, check me out at patreon.com/FalconPaladin. You can pledge out there for as little as $1 US a month. Gives you access to videos I post out there on the channel a month before anybody else can see them. And I do choose the best of the best. So check it out. Patreon.com/FalconPaladin. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, that's the best way to go. I've been out there since like 2015. So I'm grandfathered into this old system where they take maybe 3% of your donation every month. And I get the rest of it. So that's great. As opposed to like being a member of the channel, which you can do by clicking the join button down below. Very convenient if you're already on YouTube. You don't have to set up a Patreon account for that, right? But they will take closer to 30% of your monthly donation for themselves. And the other goes to me. So just keep that in mind if you're interested in supporting the channel. Again, if you're not going to do it, that is totally rad. I love everyone who comes and watches my videos, everyone who hits the like button. Also, tip-top, right? Tip-top shape here. Anyway, Zealot cruising across the map. We got a Cybercore coming in. SCV kind of hiding over here. Maybe he wants to go in for another scout, would be my guess. Bunker up. Marine in bunker. You need 3 Marines inside a bunker to really keep a Zealot from just walking past it. But maybe this SCV can provide a bit of a block to where... There you go. He doesn't want to walk past. Took too many hits, and now the 3rd Marine is there. So that's fantastic. SCV comes in, sees... Aha! A pylon! I knew it! My scouting, my second scout is perfect. I mean, yes it is. Fair. Also, expansion up from Flash. No expansion from BISU here. And this probe might be interested in doing that, but also doesn't have enough minerals to. So, what are you doing? Second gate? What are you just making Dragoons, I guess. Fair enough. 2 Zealots on the run by. Yeah, baby. Excellent. 2 Zealots on the run by. Neither of them die because there's 2 Zealots to attack instead of just 1. SCV dead. Revert. SCV building a factory dead. SCV maybe, no, maybe not. Doesn't want to kill the next SCV, but Flash, see how fast Flash was on getting another SCV on that factory as BISU finally expands behind this aggression. Yeah, Robert the Zealot here. Got 2 kills. Feeling all right about himself. Trying to make another run by a Dragoon. Ah, Dragoon got into the natural while Flash was busy with a Zealot. Killed the SCV, building the command center. It is delayed. But not for much longer, because the Marines are here. Kill the SCV. I mean, there's another SCV here, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, this is nuts. I'm loving this aggression, by the way. Is there still a Zealot up here? No, but another Dragoon comes in. BISU! You menace! This is crazy good. All right, all the SCVs come, and the Dragoons are like, well, ow. Okay, he tried to retreat, but unfortunately for him, nope, you have range. You can hit it. You gotta find the spot. You gotta find... Okay, if the Marines come out of the bunker, though, never mind. All bets are off. This little Steve guy, he's been scouting like crazy today. Finally gets sniped out. Got a robotics facility coming in. Because, guess what? We're worried about spider mines because there's already a machine chop up here from Flash. He's been dealing with the aggression, the delay on the natural base, the Dragoons pressuring, the deaths of his SCVs, and still getting his factories up on time, still getting machine chops out there, still making siege tanks, still ready for the next thing. BISU's doing the same thing. He's being aggressive while macroing back home, while teching up back home, while getting what he needs. Ooh, robotic support bay before observatory in this game. That is interesting. That is fast, Reaver. That is where you want to get in there and wipe out the enemy before you have to worry about spider mines. Gambling a little bit, too. It's not actually spider mines. It's vulture speed with no siege mode coming in here yet. I mean, not that we're never getting it, because that'd be ridiculous, but still. Spider mines are coming up because we have double machine shop, so double the upgrades are available. Little marine tank push out here out of Flash. It's like, aha! Dragoons don't like either of these units. Perfect anti-Dragoon composition. Anti-Dragoon composition here. Reavers on the way. Reavers are going to help with this a lot, but Dragoons alone do not want to fight this. They can delay they can harass, right? If the enemy is pushing out across the land to come kill your kingdom, you can slow them down using harassing techniques. That's exactly what this is. It is also in the game StarCraft from 1998. War never changes. Although sometimes it does change, like drones, man. Have you guys been watching some of the war reporting on Ukraine and Russia and stuff recently? I mean, over the last years, but just the concept that drones have really changed how the game is played. I'm not going to get into it here, but there's a video I can recommend, I think, that goes into it. Anyway, Dragoons and Reavers on the defense here. Marines and Siege Tanks are... Oh, never mind. Siege Tanks and a couple Marines are coming in. But, this is real... Okay, all of a sudden, BISU's falling apart. What is this? Oh, the probe's in trouble. No, the Reaver gets sniped by the tank. Sick micro on that one. And Dragoon dies. 2 and 3 kills on these tanks. Where were these Dragoons the whole time? They were out on the map? Okay, they were going to save the day. That was really dicey for BISU, but those guys came back. Incredible stuff. Oh, find the probe, find the probe. They did. They took the time to find the probe and snipe the probe and maybe get out. Oh, one of them did. This guy not getting out. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. Maybe if the Dragoons let him out, they're not going to let him out. Too much awareness for that to happen. Okay, so some probes died. It's 45 to 38 workers now for Flash. BISU is working on more Reavers. He's like, committed to this Reaver tech. I got to use it to some extent. And to answer it, as always, are the Charon boosters and the Goliaths. Let's see what is what here today. Vultures try to go for a run by, but no, say the Dragoons, they shut that thing down so fast. Spider-Mine's being laid. And yeah, next week I actually have a Patreon cast coming up from somebody who is a patron of mine at patreon.com/FalconPaladin for $10 a month, which means he can send me any replay once a month and I'll put it up on the channel. His name is David. It's part of a noob StarCraft league that he's organizing with his friends. So if you want to compete in that, let me know. I can give you a link to his contact information and like a Reddit post about it. But yeah, there's a game there, and there's a Terran that makes a lot of vultures, and he's active with them, but he doesn't use the spider mines. And that's what the noob part of this thing is for, right? It's really frustrating to watch a Terran make a ton of vultures, give them speed, give them spider mines, and have them run around and attack stuff, but then they're dying with 3 spider mines in the chamber, and it's just like, ugh, it hurts me. I don't even main Terran, and that hurts me. Anyway, what do we got? Ow. Ow. Siege tanks firing. Is there enough? Is there enough? Actually, that lobby game may I post before this comes up. I don't know. My scheduling sometimes gets a little bit wonky. Maybe you already saw it. Maybe it already came up. Maybe you already skipped it because you're like, noob StarCraft League. Boo. All I care about is Flash and BISU. All right, I get it. Fleet Beacon coming in from the BISU. He's going to try for the carriers here. It worked for him in game number 1. Third base getting saturated by Flash. Third base has been running for BISU for a while here. Academy coming in for ComSat scans and checking of the bases to see if it is in fact carriers. Good op spot. Sees exactly where that army of Flash is, and he knows, well, if they're there, they can't be attacking me from over here, so that's nice. Not that there couldn't be a group of vultures swinging up this way, which is what this obs is for. So carriers happening. Let's see how long it takes Flash to realize that carriers are happening. He's not making comsats, so it's going to be harder. +1 air weapons coming in. We are committing to this. There we go. Now firing up comsat stations. Doesn't take that long. And that leads to one of the more interesting things. If you're getting DT rushed and you scan and then you're out of energy, but the DT isn't dead and he's coming back around for more, killing your own comsat station and building a new one is faster than waiting for the comsat station to regain 50 energy for another scan. We see that. We see that in cheesy PvT games all the time. I'm going to kill your own bunker up here just because, well, you don't need it anymore. There's the scan. Okay, sees the fleet beacon, sees the 3 stargates, and says, aha! It is carriers. All right, time to throw up the Goliaths. We already have the Charon boost, so that's a nice thing. I've already checked off my list. trying to get a Reaver or Zealots all up in here. Just Zealots, though, huh? No Reaver. Interesting. I probably missed that Reaver getting unloaded and killed up here, didn't I? But nothing's on fire. I don't see a giant SCV discrepancy either. Is the Reaver still alive somewhere? Reaver, friend. Mon ami. Namana. What is it in Spanish? I know what that is in Spanish. Friend in Spanish is amigo or amiga. Huh. I don't know what happened to that Reaver, but I'm going to guess it didn't get a lot done. Because I don't see any indication of damage getting done up here. So, carriers are coming up, and the turrets are waiting for them. If you want to unload some Zealots in there to kill the turrets, guess what? We have Spider Mines and Vultures waiting for that, too. So this is great. This is really good from Flash. He's just like, yeah, we'll kill your Interceptors. Can't unload in here because there are a million Vultures ready for you, and can't see the Spider Mines, but you probably assume they're there anyway, don't you? Don't you? Okay, good. BISU taking a 4th base down here at about a 6 o'clock position, bottom right, maybe for an expansion there, too. And then we start running out of bases, right? So there's the scan, sees the base coming in, sees only one cannon there, and says, maybe we can Vulture snipe that. But Dragoon's in position to cover this ramp at least a little bit. Yeah, observers catching a glimpse of these guys moving into position to maybe make a dart onto it. So they're going to come in, eat some tank shots, and get on out of there. That's exactly how this works. BISU going to take top left for his 5th base. Interesting. And kiting. And kiting and kiting and kiting and kiting back. All right, Dragoons clearing out Spider Mines, carriers trying to not take hits from Goliath. That's what they're all about here. 189 to 174 supply. Flash is up. Flash is on 4 bases. Flash snipes and obs. EMP is coming in, plus 2 air weapons coming in here too. Considering this isn't exactly a giant carrier group, I don't know why we're working on air weapons so much. I would maybe prefer working on ground attack, but he is working on that too. He's got a +1 ground finishing up here, actually now, as I'm saying that sentence. So that's nice. +1 is done for these guys. Is there enough? Is there enough? I mean, it's a maxed out Flash army. If there's not enough here, then I don't know what we're doing, folks. Scans in, sees what's up. Gonna set up, and my goodness, the chaos on display here. Carriers firing away those interceptors. Goliath's not really going after the carrier bodies that much. There we go. If they're gonna retreat, we'll chase them. Siege tanks, way enough siege tanks to handle those. Yeah, exactly, to handle those Dragoons, folks. Come on. 163 to 160 supply here. Dragoons getting left out in the cold a little bit here. They're trying to flee back and just get away from this army who is gosh darn sieging up. It's just macro here from Flash. I think he just dealt with the early aggression by BISU enough to get himself into this position where he's got 4 bases. He's got a 5th base in production. He's simultaneously threatening the natural and threatening the 3rd. Stop me if you've heard that one before. Zealots with speed, marching on up in here. Goliaths have to deal with those. Not as good at it as the Vultures are, but they will get the job done. Just with sheer damage output, the Zealots are on top of the tanks. Tanks dying. Maybe this is actually a hold for BISU. He did this in game 2. But then reinforcements from Flash continue to flood in here. Look at this. SCVs are joining the party for repair purposes, I would guess. Is there an EMP available on the science vessel? Yeah, you could EMP this carrier group, but I'm not sure how much value you would get out of it here. Yeah, well, let's do it. Bam! EMP. Science vessel eats it. Absolutely hard. Carriers trying to save the 3rd base. Goliath, this is so much chaos. Goliath's on the bottom side fighting Dragoons at the natural base. Reinforcements continuing to come in here. BISU hasn't lost a base yet, though. Some probes have died, as we've seen today. Is it enough to slow him down on the macro to keep up with what Flash is doing? Because Flash is making 7 Goliaths at a time. Just basically going pure Goliath here to add to the couple tanks he's got at the front. Okay, he's got 2 tanks in production too. not done with it. He's getting a third gas, or a fifth gas here, rather. Is there a... My gosh, this attack has been a long one for sure. But the carriers have all stayed alive, and I think we've added a new one to the group, but there should be in duos. So maybe a carrier did die, but 5 remaining is still pretty good, especially with that +2 attack, especially in conjunction with the Zealots here. Tanks getting wiped out. Oh gosh, Vultures got into the third base. That's disastrous. That is absolutely the worst thing that can happen for BISU right now, is Vultures getting inside your base, sniping a ton of your workers, knocking your economy back a bunch. 61 to 45 workers in favor of Flash right now is not where you want to be, folks. On even base count, on the back foot, down 121 to 116 supply. Upgrades, still the +1/+1 here. The shield upgrade is being shared by everybody. It's an upgrade I guess you can get if you're going hybrid Sky Toss here. BISU on the counterattack. Is there enough to do this? Goliath getting some body shots off. That carrier is very close to death, but he manages to get up into that. Nope. Scan says, no, I will snipe you inside the darkness. How's that sound? But then more gateway units are here from BISU. What a great game this one is. Man, what a fantastic TVP. I mean, so far, so good. Some really, really great moments here, but that's what you clicked on this to expect, right? Is fantastic play from both BISU and Flash. +2/+1 upgrades with a +3/+2 coming in, as usual from Flash at about this stage of the game. He has not wavered on that at all. Scanning to see where the heck those carriers went. They're down south, buddy. They're heading down to this section of the map, maybe here to go after your third base. Entirely possible. 147 to 115 supply, 61 to 42 workers is a big part of it too. Spider Mines are early warning. And Flash is bringing his boys down to try to deal with this. Goliath, what do they want to do? They want to try to kill the Dragoons? They want to try to get after the Interceptors? How is this going to work out? Zealot tries to get in there and cause some mischief, but nope. Vulture shut that down before it can even get going. I love the one Goliath. It didn't get the memo. We're falling back, my guy. We're pushing this way now. He's guessing that BISU's going to try to make a move up the other side. Just kind of alternate positions, right? Scans in, doesn't see a base. Scans in, sees a base. He's a pretty vulnerable base. So I think you can maybe sit Vultures here. It gets scanned, and so there you go. So BISU comes in and says, yeah, we better defend this a little bit better than we are. More probes getting sniped. Sniped out below 40 workers from BISU now. 61 to 36 workers. Flash is up big time here. Another Obs gets sniped. Is he waiting for his 3-2 before he moves out? Or just waiting for more forces, more Goliaths, 4 of those at a time. Continuing to make those tanks, though, properly. Attacking his own assimilators so that he can queue up all of these assimilators to release at the same time when the time comes in a minute. Sometimes we see it on pylons, but it doesn't really matter what the attack thing is. So watch. Now all the interceptors will release at the same time. Out of the darkness, mind you. Pretty good stuff, guys. I mean, Archon in here. Blah. Not getting a lot done, unfortunately. Yeah, Goliaths are just kind of undecided. They're not getting any shots off at all sometimes, which is really bad. Like, you definitely want to get some shots off, even if maybe they're only on interceptors. Tried to get back there. The probes blocked access to that back area, so they wouldn't all die, and saved their own patooties. 56 to 36. Overall supply here in favor of our guy. Flash. He's looking good. He's looking confident. He's got a supply lead. He's got an army lead. He's got a worker lead. He's on even base count against a Protoss. I mean, that's it, right? Until these corner bases can be taken by someone, BISU's in a lot of trouble here on New Bloody Ridge. Concave getting set up here by Flash. Are there enough Goliaths? Dragoon count seems a little bit thin here. Yeah, that step forward was a mistake. He should have stepped back from the get-go. 150 to 110 supply after that engagement. Flash is too big, too strong. Upgrades have kicked in. He's got that 3-2 that every Terran player is waiting for. 20 minutes into the game. A +3 air attack is getting researched by BISU, but I'm not sure the carriers are enough. Oh, single Archon wanders on up into this 5th base and does a ton of work. My gosh. Siege tanks. Oh my goodness. 7 kills? Sure, why not? Bring some SC. Oh no! Oh no! No! That Archon got like 10 more kills before his death. That was nuts. It's 40 to 36 workers all of a sudden. Dude, Flash has brought his SCVs back too soon. And everything went incredibly poorly for him. All right, he's on the move out. It's time to go, folks. It is go time. He's still up in overall army supply by quite a bit. His science vessels are providing detection against that DT. I'm not sure what that was, to be honest. Why make it DT? Maybe hoping Flash wouldn't have his science vessels with his army, I suppose. Don't know. Flash says, all right, that was ridiculous. I cannot believe that many of my dudes died there. Horrible. Horrible. Not even maxed out. Let's go ahead and try to wipe out this third. Force BISU to engage into us to save it. And there we go, forcing the engagement here. Another EMP on the carriers. So many more Archons down here than maybe you'd expect. But, yeah, they don't do super well, do they? Sniping the science vessels. Trying to do that, but everything on the ground is dead. Now the carrier micro by BISU is excellent, but it's not going to be enough. It's 146, yeah, to 80 supply. GG, BISU taps out. And Flash is our winner in 22 minutes and 50 seconds. Yo, that was incredible. What an absolutely sick good PVT there from Flash. He takes a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Looking great, looking strong. These carriers put in some work, man. 10 kills, 11 kills. I mean, come on. 4 kills. Okay, not as good. But, yeah, I mean, that Archon, I can't believe it, almost got BISU back in this game. But until he could get a 5th base or a 6th base, it wasn't happening for him. Just the cost efficiency, he couldn't engage with Flash's army. And he would just choose not to for the most part over the last 5 minutes, right? But then Flash forced the engagement, forced the fight. BISU lost it. And bam, this base is dead and it's over. It's over. Man, watch some strong bad videos for Labor Day because of the Today Day is Labor Day videos from back in the mid-2000s. Anyway, I'm old. What do we got? 50,000. No, here we go. Total score 170 to 160 in favor of Flash. Close game, man. Produced similar numbers of units. Flash was way more cost efficient with his, though, because that's what mech is. Killed 9 buildings to 0. Not great from BISU, and then outspent his Protoss opponent. It doesn't even matter how much you outspend your Protoss opponent. If in 22 minutes your opponent gets outspent by you as a Terran, you win. Most of the time. All right, good. Okay, so that is game 3. Flash just needs one more game to win this thing. Will he win this 3-1? Will BISU force a game 5? I don't know. Step in with me and let's find out together. Game 4. We're back on Fighting Spirit. Top left, it is BISU. He's a red Protoss. And the bottom left, it is going to be our Terran Flash. So, again, giant 4-player map here. Looks like no proxies. There would be a worker going out already, but man. Imagine trying to proxy Flash, dude. He would find it. He would defend it. He knows every single counter to some proxies and cheeses, and he will execute them perfectly. Same for BISU here. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why we don't see proxies in best of 5s from Flash and BISU. Yeah, I think that's probably it. All right, man. So Flash dropped game 1 to BISU with the carrier hybrid strategy, but then won games 2 and 3 to put him in position to win this whole thing just by closing it out here in game 4. BISU can force a game 5 by winning this thing. You know how best ofs work, I guess. You're generally familiar with that stuff. But yeah, I hope you're having a great time. I guess you could join the Discord server as long as we're talking about other stuff related to the Falcon Paladin StarCraft experience. There are Brood War fans in there, a bunch of them. They're doing tournament stuff. They're playing against each other. If you're looking for people to play StarCraft with in a very laid-back environment, right? The tournament we do is basically like we give you your opponent and then you have a week to play them. It's not even that big a deal, right? We're not forcing you to be in the same place at the same time for 2 hours. Anywho, so that's a lot of fun. And also, I guess what else happened today is this barracks comes up. Oh, that reminds me. Real Squid, who is an Overmind supporter of mine, very cool dude. I mean, Overmind support on the YouTube is a big deal. A lot of help. But he sent me a link to a 12-year-old video called 8-Bit StarCraft, which is awesome. It's basically, looks like it's an Atari game of StarCraft, or somebody put together just kind of a demo of like a Nintendo NES. It's more Atari than it is Nintendo, I think. It's even fewer bits, I think, than the original Nintendo was. But anyway, it's super great. I remember seeing it when it came out 12 years ago. Really fun to watch now. If you want a link to that, let me know, and I'll put it in the description too. Dude, this pro block is absolutely disgusting. How do you do that? Man, BISU, you're a monster. He got the pro block. He's like, you can't see I'm getting a cyber core. Get out of here. You can guess that I'm getting a cyber core, but I don't want you to see it's happening. So SCV says, fine, I know when I'm not wanted, and heads over this way. I mean, BISU could have been blocking access to this, and it's not even his base, right? Flash doesn't know that. Flash doesn't know there's any Protoss here because he didn't see any. So, oh my gosh, so he is scouting top right. That's crazy. That's absolutely funny stuff. All right, well then the probe says, well, if I scout, and the Marine's like, no, that's not happening either, man. So neither player getting the information that they want. I mean, BISU knows that Flash is here, so he got that information. Because there are not going to be Marines down in that corner unless Flash spawned there. And then Steve comes in for the actual scout and says, yes, as I thought, there is Protoss here. And yes, we are getting Singularity Charge. And no, he's faking it. He's getting an air weapons upgrade. And there's a Citadel, though. Hang on. Is this DT Rush? And he did throw up air weapons temporarily to make Flash assume it was Singularity Charge, but it got scouted, so he cancels it. Ah, that could have been so fun. I mean, he saw the Citadel, and so that's... that's frustrating. We could have totally gotten DTs, but instead, no. I mean, we got a DT in the last game, and it didn't do anything. Okay, well, fine. BC says, I guess I'll expand if you're expanding, because you are, based on that bunker placement. Machine Shop says, Spider Mines. Yes! Spider Mines coming in. First upgrade of the day. Here on Fighting Spirit for game number 4. Robotic Facility coming in, and yeah. Ah, we were so close to glory. We were so close to getting a DT opening, man. Alright. Well, here goes nothing. We're just doing regular stuff here. We're gonna have obs. We're gonna have spider mines. We're gonna have vultures. We could have had super cool DTs going whom, whom, whum, and killing SCVs, and Flash would have to deal with it, and he doesn't have an academy or an engineering bay. Wait. Oh, that's a starport. And he has a starport. He's getting an academy, though, because he's like, I don't know, this could still be DTs. Having scans is never a bad thing. Yeah, so spider mines are super annoying right now because there is no observer presence yet. They're close. But BISU is one of the Protoss that can get in here, trigger the spider mine, step back, and kill it without it killing them. It's tricky. The micro is tough. But if you practice it enough, you can get some work done for sure. You can learn a new skill that is useful in this game that we call StarCraft. Vulture Speed's on the way next. Now that spider mines are done, another drop ship. Okay, we're again dropping vultures in. This pylon is for early advance warning of vulture drops. That is its only purpose, and I guess it provides psi and supply for the Protoss. That's what it is, right? It provides psi. Yep, psi used, psi provided, totaled psi max. Alright, clearing out spider mines, blah, 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 blah. Gonna try to go for that vulture stuff, though. Here it is, up the left side. Trying to get into the natural based on this flight path. There's, my gosh, there's nothing back here to defend against that. So this vulture says, hey, what if you chase me? No, he doesn't. Okay, I would have maybe... Man, you kind of dragged the Dragoons into this position, you know. But now they're out, and they want to clear the... Okay, well... This would have been an amazing place to land. But the vultures go for the main base anyway, and by golly, the probes are dying here too. There are no Dragoons at all inside the main. Ah, this is so bad. Probes have to run for their lives. A couple... No! Spider Mine connection! Huge! Death! Destruction! It comes for us all! Ah, that spider mine shift was triggered by a Dragoon, and those transferring probes all died, and BISU is dead. BISU is dead. That's it, man. You cannot come back from this. You're down 35 to 17 workers. This vulture got in here and killed some more workers. While that was happening, there are 3 dudes mining at your main right now, BISU. That was the absolute horrific position. These Dragoons are going to do pretty well against SCVs, a Marine, and a single siege tank. So BISU's trying to scrap and claw his way back into this thing. Down 33 to 19 workers in 7 minutes. 2 base to 2 base. He's microing his Dragoons like his life depends on it, because it certainly does. But now siege mode is here. And now, okay, hang on. They killed the siege tank. More Dragoons are showing up. Hold your horses, folks. BISU's fighting. Oh, that high ground mischance really coming into play there, keeping that tank alive. SCV's fighting because they know we can afford to lose. Oh, Spider-Man killed like 4 SCVs there. So the Spider-Mines giveth and the Spider-Mines taketh away. Oh, high ground siege tank, and Dragoons swing back to the side where the tank can't hit them. This is a bananas game 4. I'm still fairly sure that BISU is dead because he's down 31 to 22 workers. But more SCVs are dying all the time here. BISU's not done yet. It's a 10-kill Dragoon, man. 10-kill Dragoon in the first 8 minutes is awesome. So there's a scan. What do we got here? Reavers. Comeback unit. That is the Reaver. Can we get some huge hits off on siege tanks, on SCVs? Maybe. BISU somehow only down 6 workers now. That Dragoon counter was incredible. I cannot believe that worked as well as it did. Is that a fake dropout? That's a fake drop. Another scan reveals what's up here and sees a run-by potential, maybe. Again, getting behind this mineral line. The number of probes that have died in this game is way too high for the first 10 minutes. Way too high. Where's this dropship going? If it's a fake dropship, you want the enemy to see it, right? Wraith comes out, again, trying to counter this Reaver stuff. That's why we have Dragoons out on the map. And Dragoons inside the shuttle, too. That would be nice. Another scan. And he's like, are you going carriers or anything? No, just more gateways. Okay, that's cool. And then, ow, let me... Okay, so not a fake out at all. He just picks up the vultures that were out on the map and drops them inside the main base. And more probes die because, of course, they do. 41 to 29 workers. Flash is getting an advance here on worker count because probes keep dying to vultures, man. The vulture harassment in this game especially has been too strong. Too strong. We got Goliaths, we got Charon boost, we've got continual scans to see what's going on in the Protoss base. And where is the Reaver? Not there, huh? Probably coming to try to push my front door, says Flash. Let's do it. Do it, rockapella. Ooh-ah, doo-wop, doop-a-doop-a doo-wop, doop-a-doop-a doo-wop, doop-a-doop-a doo-wop, bow. You ever watch Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? The live-action kids game show on PBS back in the mid-90s. Good stuff. Okay, Spider-Mine's in is good. Vulture scouting the Stargate. Here comes the Reaver, though, deep into the mineral line. Run, SCVs! That's a good run. And give it to it. Oh, Scarab, no connection at all. Dragoons on the low ground. Zealots left inside the main base, causing some kind of issues in there. And by that, I mean they're dead and didn't kill anything at all. So BISU trying to find some damage here, not doing super well with it. But man, how many Protoss players would be able to come back against Flash after that disastrous Spider-Mine hit? I want to say 2. Maybe like Snow and BISU. Maybe that's it, dude. Maybe Rain. Rain's pretty good. Minnie's been playing pretty well these days too. But, whew. Don't rightly know. I don't know how many Protoss are on that list. It's not a big one. 41 to 51 workers. BISU's holding, but he can't get a third base. This is just like the last game. If you're on even bases against Flash and can't get one up on him, he's going to kill you. Like every single time. He's trying another drop, but guess what? There's 4 Dragoons in here. And this is like hard wall. These vultures are not getting any deeper into this base. Yeah, he just turns around, sees what he sees, and gets on out of there. More and more factories, no big surprise. Arbiter Tribunal, also no big surprise. Vultures on the run by into the natural base. Stop me if you've seen this one before. My gosh. All right, so cool. More probes die, 55 to 37 workers. Absolutely the worst time to be a probe in the history of probes. 55 to 36 now. That's like 9 probes that died during that attack just by walking in the front door. BISU was not adequately defending these guys. Tries to sneak a ninja third over here at the 3 o'clock position. I support that because I'm not sure what else you're going to do. Reverse shots. Bouncing, 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 bouncing. Blah. Terrible. Terrible reverse shots today for BISU. He is not getting any good RNG with those. That's so frustrating too as a Protoss player to be like, aha, I got successfully dropped behind this mineral line. Go. And then the Scarab's like, what if I go here, sit here for a minute, and then explode? Does that sound fun? BISU's like, no. Not at all. All right. Vulture scouting that base might be just game ending for BISU, but they don't scout it yet. He's going for another drop. My gosh, this guy. Or maybe just another run by into the front. Who knows what darkness lurks in the heart of Flash in this game. I'm going to lose too many guys. Just go for a run by there. And they might get sandwiched. No? All right. Scans in the main base. Sees the Dragoons are still sitting there. Quelle surprise. Good ob snipe. Checking this base. If you're going to check this base and this base by default, you have to check this one too, dude. Okay, that's it. This is the game right here, folks. You ready for it? Ready for this to be the game? This is it. This is where the ninja gets totally scouted, and then BISU goes, ah. And I would not blame him for just tapping out right there. That's it. You don't get a third base. You invested so much into that base. But I think BISU's going to try to maybe get one last hurrah. He's moved. Yeah. He can't simultaneously defend that third and his natural at the same time. I already said simultaneously, but whatever. All right, BISU says, go! If we can kill this army, we can win. EMP gets tossed. Nope, that was not an EMP, but whatever. Science Vessel's here. Enough siege tanks exist. All the zealots are gone. All the Dragoons got GG. Flash gets the win in Game 4 and takes the series 3 games to 1. Well, that was incredible out of Flash. That spider mine hit. That spider mine hit was so bad. BISU fans are like, that is just unfair, man. That is unfair. Vultures get up in amongst your production. You have to run the probes. A Dragoon spawns at the worst possible time, and you lose like 15 probes to 1 spider mine hit. And then coming back from that's going to be impossible. He tried to sneak the ninja base. No. He tried to get a Reaver drop down here. Also no. Everywhere that BISU turned, he was dead. Very sad. He's like, yeah. And he could not defend this base and defend his main at the same time. So he went for it. Did not win, not even close. Too good here with the 2-1 upgrades on the mech. And Flash is our winner in 4 games. Awesome. I'll throw up another Flash versus BISU game at the end here so you guys can pretend it kept going. And so you don't know how long the series is. That's fun, but end of the day, man, Flash is just too good. He drops game 1 and then just acts like nothing happened. He's not flapped. He's not flapped? He's unflappable, which means you can't be flapped. He's not, I don't know. He doesn't get nervous or anything, right? Once again, it's an outspend here, which just death and destruction to all who get outspent by Flash. Okay, well, that's a GG. That is a great series. That is a great game to wrap it up with. So much fun stuff in this. Hope you enjoyed it, because that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram these days if you search Falcon Paladin out there. And until next time, as always, thanks so much for watching. You take care of yourself. Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, going to be a match between Flash and BISU here on Circuit Breakers from 2016, the Sino-Korean Carnival. Bottom left, it's going to be our white Yes, white Protoss player, BISU. Top right, it is Flash. All right, so you know both of these players. Cast a few games between these players before. Not as many as I thought I had. But, maybe I can rectify that by casting more. Anyway, this is from 2016, which is 6 years ago now? 7 years ago now? 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6? 6 years ago. It's good. Not at 7 yet. We're not that old. Honestly, though, part of me is like, man, the times, they're moving too fast for me. It's okay. I'm just going to take a deep breath, calm down, cast some StarCraft, see who comes out on top here. BISU tends to crush everybody he ever plays in PvT, except for Flash. And then Flash wins, and he makes it look kind of easy, and everybody says, TVP is imbalanced, which is only true if Flash is playing the Terran, I think. Generally, anyway. I mean, there's a bajillion different, honestly, so many different TVPs played every day at the professional level, and it's not like Protoss wins all of them, but I guess if you talk to somebody like Artosis, you'll get under the impression that Protoss is impossible to beat with the Terran. But I don't know. The games that I've cast, it seems... I've seen some games where Protoss looks unstoppable, and some games where Terran looks really unstoppable. And it just kind of seems like whichever player is working the hardest is the one that comes out on top. Did he just nex... Oh my gosh, he just nexus first against Flash. The cojones! The cojones today on BISU to go nexus first. It is a 4-player map. It is Circuit Breakers against Flash, who is going for a Rax first play. And he's got gas coming in, which indicates there's some factory stuff coming soon. Oh, and then he cross-spawn scouts. BISU, you absolute ghost. You clairvoyant monster, you. He cross-spawn scouts here. Straight up, gets right on in, sees exactly everything that Flash is doing. Oh, sees the barracks up and goes, this might be a problem. This might be a problem for me, but I got my own gateway warping in now. I mean, got my gas warping in too. I'm a little bit behind, but this isn't too much, this isn't too much behind, is it? No, but look at this. Factory. 2-minute 45 factory coming in. SCV still has not scouted. This is a Nexus first play. This can be punished. We've seen it before, and by players much less excellent and much less skilled than Flash is. You show up, you throw down a bunker, you put Marines in the bunker, maybe you bring a siege tank over. You can definitely shut this thing down against a greedy Protoss if you scout it soon enough and if you have the pieces in place to do it. Bam, here we go. So he knows that the Nexus first play. He does. He's like, all right, so you still don't have your Cyber Core. You have one gateway, another gateway coming in, your gas is done. Yes, that was a Nexus first play. So the Marines, I think, need to start walking across. I really think that needs to happen. This SCV not going to build a bunker. Intriguing stuff here. I don't know that Flash is necessarily going through all the steps to try to shut this thing down. I mean, sure, he's wandering Marines across, but they're getting distracted by this probe of BISU's, which is honestly an MVP, buying a ton of time for this to happen. What is... this is great. This is so good. So good. Second base on the way from Flash, and sure, he's working on spider mines, but guess what? Dragoons are on the way, and, I mean, you're going to want a robotics facility sooner rather than later here, BISU, because these spider mines are going to be a huge pain in your butt as soon as they start showing up. You don't have detection available, or at least a forge. Well, there's your robo. All right. So I think everything is fine for BISU. I think Flash got there. Maybe he realized he didn't have enough time to punish it. Didn't have the wherewithal to do so. Didn't have the pieces in place. And then we're just, proxying a starport down to the south. He's like, all right, fine. I'm not going to mess with you this early. But I'm going to send a Vulture across, throw some spider mines down, force you to obviously get out detection as fast as you can. Dude, this Zealot is buying time too. Ooh, Zealot might get in here and see a complete lack. Oh, doesn't. So it doesn't come in and get a look at what's going on here. So it doesn't see there's no second factory. Doesn't see there's not a starport either. So that's interesting. This has got to be dropship, right? And then you just go ahead and drop some Vultures into the main base of BISU. And then BISU's like, ah, panic. But also, where's my robotics facility, man? Or my observatory, sorry. Observatory up. Robo done. Third gateway warping in now from BISU. And yeah, this has got to be control tower. Vulture's kind of cruising around. I mean, looking for proxies of their own, maybe. Well, of BISU's own, maybe. Yeah, Observatory coming in, and sure, might throw down some spider mines, but observers are not too far away. In fact, they're starting now. They don't take that long to build, and I think everything should be fine here for BISU. So I like BISU's opening. He went for a risky Nexus first play. He's getting away with it, and this is definitely a dropship in production. We can see in the production tab in the pipe 5x5. Indeed, alien reference ready to go. Armory under construction. Just for upgrades and whatnot, and here we go. This is what I'm talking about. We're going to have 4 vultures inside your main base. BISU, are you ready for that? I don't know. Observers are out. Dragoons are here. Singularity charge is almost done. Dealing with vultures and spider mines is not going to be hard for BISU. Assuming he can handle... Oh, that's a connection? That was a connection. Boo. Dragoons with detection should not take hits from spider mines. That is terrible. All right, here we go. Into the pipe. Engaged. I mean, I'm sure that dropships don't make race car sounds when they're flying, but whatevs. All right, we're just cruising on in here with our vulture friends. La 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 la. And throw down spider mines in random spots. No probes, get out of there. Maybe don't go back to work, but Dragoons getting obliterated by those spider mines. Dude, BISU, where's your control, man? These vultures are having free reign at this point. It is 31 probes remaining after that carnage. More spider mines getting tossed down. Oh, BISU, you're in trouble here, but it's Flash. He's an absolute monster. Monster for sure. Okay, so we're going to handle that guy, no problem. He dead. Okay, so a couple Dragoons down, sure. A couple probes down, sure. But, I mean, it's not like he got knocked all the way down to like 10 probes or anything. He's still got a decent saturation here at the natural base. Trying to set up for a third base, it looks like, during all of this engagement. But he has to make more Dragoons to replace the ones that are lost here. And that delays his third base, and that's really good for Flash. That's what we like to see here. Siege tank, doing siege tanky things. Additional factories coming in, because what else is a Terran player going to do against BISU and all Protoss players ever? You're going to go for tanks and vultures, right? Also Goliaths to some level. Always some Goliaths if the game goes on long enough and you're worried about arbiters, but also a million Goliaths if there's carriers in the future. And you got to watch out for that as always. You got to make sure you're scanning constantly, trying to see if the Protoss player's going for carriers or not. Because if you get caught with your pants down when carriers arrive, you're just going to have a really bad time. So pieces like probably don't have a million tanks, right? Or maybe let's just trade out a little bit here. Let's trade out these Dragoons for all of these siege tanks. Taking some tank fire here. Zealot bombing on top of those tanks too, forcing a re-siege of a couple of them. And then, I don't know about this. I mean, you're not... Okay, so one tank dies. Yeah, but the Dragoons are falling fairly precipitously here, too. Oh, another tank down. Having to reposition another dead tank here, though. Dude, oh, then he's doing some fancy shuttle micro with his Dragoons. Are you kidding me? This is insanity. Final tank down, and the counterattack of Dragoons goes way better than I thought it would. Insane amounts of better than I thought it would here from BISU. What an absolute killer boss this guy is. We knew that, but sometimes it's good to be reminded of exactly why he's the greatest Protoss player of all time. He's doing this to Flash, y'all. Directly in Flash's face. Okay, so vultures are here to deal with Dragoons, which is not what they like to do. Spider mines, no. Say the Dragoons. We'll just clear these out. It takes us a minute, but that's okay. Look at this. He's been probing up behind this. He's up 79 to 69 supply. I don't know how these two vultures are protecting this entire base by themselves, but they are. We're going to go for another drop, though. Round 2. Drop ship a time on the watch that belongs to Flash here. And making a Goliath with Charon boost. Try to get rid... Yep, there it is. Completely rebuffs this shuttle. Boom. Yeah, so vultures, Goliaths. Goliaths, in this case, not for arbiters, but for shuttles. I don't know. And it's still 47 workers for Flash. He lost a few SCVs. He tank count, however, which we talk about all the time in TVP, did get reset. So incredibly... Man, that was so good. So tank count was like 5, right? Now it's down to 2. Anyway, doing more vulture stuff. This group doesn't do anything. This group not getting a lot done either. And I would say that BISU's probably ahead here. He's got a third base rolling, which he needs to compete with a 2-basing Terran here, but until the third base from Flash is up, he's not that scary. The third base is what's really key for Terrans. And that's when they can start to afford, you know, 20, 25, 30 siege tanks with +3 attack. And then suddenly you're a very sad Protoss Panda and all your Dragoons are dead. As long as you engage them directly, which you probably shouldn't do. Anyway, while things are kind of chill here, quick plug just for my Patreon, just patreon.com/FalconPaladin. You can also click the join button down below, become a member of the channel if you want to support me directly through YouTube. It's not, some people don't trust Patreon, they're mad at them for certain reasons, and I'm not going to get into that here, but if you prefer to support me directly through YouTube where you live here anyway, you can click join, and different membership levels, anything from like a couple bucks a month, and just up from there if you're interested. Oh, sniping that dropship entirely. There are vultures in that dropship. Arbiter Tribunal coming in now from Le BISU. Le BISU. Yeah, I love this, man. Fourth base, maybe setting up for a fourth base now. Yes, BISU knows you got to kind of go crazy with the expands after that third base comes up. Still no third base here. Ah, third base here from Flash. Loving that. Yeah, vultures. Did they actually see there was a base coming up there? Or they just retreat when the Dragoons are firing on them. I don't know why you're not sitting here. I mean, I feel like that'd do a better job blocking vultures from getting in, but whatever. Observer coming in for the scout. I don't know what information you're trying to see at this point. Obviously, Flash is going for 1 million tanks and vultures and stuff and getting upgrades for them. I don't know, like maybe scouting for future recalls. Maybe stasis on the way for those arbiters, which are in production. Observer snipe Goliath anti-air is really, really good. Vulture count, fairly heavy. Really good against these zealots. Obviously, you want them for the zealot count that BISU's rolling for here, too. Alright, Dragoon's trying to clear out some of these spider mines. Ah! Vultures, a ton of vultures getting into the third base of BISU. Cannon says no. And actually backing out here. Interesting. Flash is a little bit cautious at that third base. Spider mines, pretty scary stuff. Observer needs to come down this way, though. It's 163 to 126 supply. BISU's been macroing hard. His fourth base is now warped in. He's throwing down some defensive cannons there, too. I feel like spider mines are connecting a little bit on this group, but no. They do not seem to be connecting at all, which is exactly how it should be for a good Protoss player who has the range upgrade and an observer to help them. Spider-Man should not be a threat. EMP getting researched. Any recall on the way here? We do, I mean, recalls are good. Definitely want some good recall shenanigans if you're a Protoss playing against Flash. Flashy Flash. Ooh, fourth base from Flash is done too, though. He's doing all right here economically. He's still down about 50 supply, which is not great if you're trying to deal with BISU. If you're down 50 supply against BISU, you better hope BISU just walks into every one of your tanks sieged in a line and just dies. You better hope he's not trying to attack at different locations. Is that a Nexus? No, he's trying to set up another base here. Remember what I said about expanding a lot? Because Flash is doing that here too. The expansions are coming hot and heavy. Missile turrets on the way, just, you know, in case arbiters show up or maybe observers. And kill some of those. +1 attack is done for the Dragoons and Zealots. Mech upgrades are at +2 with no armor attack either. So we're working on armor attack here for the Terran. Protoss is interested in pretty much attack only. And here comes Le BISU. He's going to try to get in here. I don't know about going across this bridge. Seems like death to everything. But good stasis. Catches a couple siege tanks there and a science vessel who does have the EMP ability available. Wow, I don't know about this one, but he's going to bring it in anyway. The Zealots on front. Oh, shuttle dies, but the Zealot bombs are real here too. Big time attack. Is this actually enough from BISU to do this? The Zealot count is still fairly big. The Vulture's not doing their job as early as they needed to here. Stasis not exactly a huge point, but it's just overwhelming Protoss forces here. And I wonder how much of this traces back to that early Dragoon attack that killed every one of Flash's tanks. And is that it? Is the third base dead for Flash? Is the fourth base dead for Flash? It's looking at it, and yes, Flash taps out. 14 minutes and 55 seconds. BISU, you absolute monster. He's still in here killing stuff, and there we go. Now he leaves the game. The Flash versus BISU final observer is hanging out, apparently, and there we go. We get out of there, too. So GG BISU. I don't know how many times he's defeated Flash on this channel. I don't feel like it's been very many. Flash just usually looks incredibly good here, but this is 2016. This is a little bit past the primes of both of these players, which is fine. It's totally fine. But disgustingly good play here from BISU. And I gotta say, it's going to come down to two things. One, the Dragoons showing up, jumping on those tanks with a sick shuttle micro, dropping Zealots on the tanks, dropping Dragoons on the tanks, tanks trying to reposition and get in position, get in places where they're not getting hit, and then the shuttle shows up and drops a Zealot right on them, and it's like, curses, foiled again. And that happened. That reset the tank count to 0, and then just dealing with this Vulture drop fairly well, right? I mean, BISU ended up losing, I want to say, 6 or 7 probes and maybe 3 or 4 Dragoons. But other than that, it really didn't set him back that much. He was still able to get a 3rd base up, get a 4th base up, and then just start pumping, right? Multiple gateways firing all at once here. Production tab is 4 Dragoons and 3 Zealots at a time. And then just bring some stasis tech with you, right? No need for recall, just stasis techs. And then your Zealots have the +1 attack. And you just kind of go from there. Just kind of A move from there. Come up through this direction, stasis the guys immediately on this side of the bridge, get on top of them, and then just use this very wide ramp to get down and jump on top of this 3rd base for Flash. Jump on everything. Make them wish they'd never been born. And that's it. I mean, he made that look easy in ways that Flash has made it look easy against BISU before. Sometimes that's how it is in StarCraft. Sometimes a couple early decisions, early skill on display, combined with just your ability to macro super well and get up the tech that you want, which is obviously the stasis was important there, the cloak was important. BISU's able to make it look like, you know, this was no big deal. I just beat Flash like this all the time, you know? Don't you know? All right, so that was great. I mean, that was an impressive, sick display from BISU. Protoss fans can go to sleep happy tonight. 63,000 points for Flash and a full 92,000 points from BISU. Insane. He produced about, what, 80 less than Flash did, and he killed 100 more units. That's some incredible cost efficiency in a PvT. That's crazy. When that's your number, you better win every single time. And then outspent the Terran as well here by about 5,000 resources. And that helps. In just a 15-minute game, that's a big number. So nicely done by BISU. Well, you know, well attempted there by Flash, but sometimes it just is not your day. Sometimes you just got to move on. MoveOn.org to your next game. This, again, was part of a finals between these two players. I honestly can't remember. Man. I'm trying to remember here. I don't know if I actually remember if I cast the other games from this finals or not, from this 2016 Sino-Korean Festival. But in the folder, there's only this one, so I'm going to look into it. I'm going to look into seeing if I have more Flash versus BISU I can pull up. But anyway, you clicked on this for Flash versus BISU, and I hope you're happy. So that is going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.